welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we will be looking into how we can create the simple cactus object in just 10 to 15 minutes using Figma. So before we get started, please subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done it yet, and do like and share this video with others so that they can also join us and learn together. So let's get started. So I have created a sheet where I've explained all the colors used and the 4 steps that would be needed to create this illustration. So let's get started with the steps. So the first step is to create the base of the pot, for which we'll be using the rectangle shape from the shape tool, and we'll be adding the corner radius and smoothing the edges to have the curves of the pot. Once the pot is done, we'll be again using the shape tool and we'll be using the rectangle shape to create the base of the cactus, and we'll be adding the same angle which we have added for the pot to create the base of the cactus. And the step 3 would be to add the head of the cactus, for which we'll be using the ellipses from the shape tool, and we'll be setting the sweep as 50% to have a semicircle that will look like the head. So once the body of the cactus is ready, we'll be creating the arms for the cactus, for which we'll be using a combination of rectangle and triangle shape, and certain points of these shapes would be curved to look like the arms. And finally we would be adding the face and shadows of the to the cactus that we have created right now. Yeah, that's it. With just 4 steps we'll be able to create the cactus illustration. So now let's get started and look how we can create this cactus in detail using these 4 steps which I have just explained. So let's get started. So the first step is to create the pot. So for that I'll be using the rectangle shape from the shape tool, and we'll be creating a rectangle like this. The width of the rectangle would be 161, maybe we let it be 127. Yep, this looks fine. Now double click on the rectangle and select all the corners. So we can use Command A in Mac or Control A in Windows, and all the corners of the rectangle will get selected. Now let's add a border radius to this. Let's see if 10 looks fine. Now once the top of the pot is created, let's fill in with the color. So that's done. Now let's create the base of the pot. So again I'll be using the rectangle shape from the shape tool. Yes. Now double click on the rectangle that we have just created and click on one of the corner from the bottom and just move it to a bit right, creating an angle like this. Before making the same change in the other end as well, we'll be using the line uh, from the shape tool, and we'll be marking the angle that we have made just now. So this is kind of a hack. So basically what we are doing here is marking the angle that we have made, and we'll be copying the line and we'll be pasting it in the other end, and now we can use this as reference to know the angle that we have made. So yes, so once this is done, I'll just remove the second line that we had, and I'll keep this line aside because we need the same line while creating the base of the cactus. Now let's fill in the color for the base of the pot. Yes. Now again double click on the base and just select the bottom corners of the pot, so that we just need the bottom corners to be curved. Yes. So with this we are done with step 1, which is creation of the pot. So once that's done, let's move to step 2, which is creating the base of the cactus. So for that again we're using the rectangle shape from the shape tool, and I'll create a rectangle like this. Make sure this line is in line with the base of the pot that we have just created. Yes. Now we'll again use the line which we have kept aside, and we'll move this line like this. Then double click on the rectangle and create the angle like this. Let's move the line to the other end of the face and let's create. Yes, so the first layer of the base for the cactus is ready. Let's fill in the color. Yeah. So once this is done, select the rectangle and copy and paste again. So we need two layers for this, and for that we'll be copy pasting the same so that we don't have to repeat the same process of creating the angles again. And we'll move this. Now let's fill in with the color that we need for the top layer. Yes, so we are done with the base of the cactus. With this we are done with step number 2, so we don't need these lines anymore. So now let's move to step number 3, which is creating the head of the cactus. So for this I'll be using the ellipse, and you just need to create a circle like this and make sure the edges are touching each other so that it becomes a full circle like this. Now select the circle or the ellipse and you can see one dot which is called the arc, and we can move this to and make the sweep as 50%, which would make it a semicircle. You just have to rotate it and make sure the angle is 180 degrees so that it's aligned properly, and just move a bit down so that the base and the other edges touches each other. So once this is done, let's fill in with the color. Yes, again we'll be repeating the same step which we did in the base of the cactus, which is to copy this ellipse, paste, and we can copy this color and paste it over here. So this is the second layer, and we will be selecting this layer and we just have to move this and make sure this two edges are touching each other. So once this is done, we are done with the base and the head of the cactus. So the only step that's remaining is step number 4, which is regarding creating the arms for the cactus. So for this we'll be using a combination of rectangle and polygon. So we will be aligning the rectangles like this. So select the bottom right corner and let's add a border radius to this. So this looks like an elbow. Now similarly select the top corners and let's make it like this. Yeah. In order to have the curve in the inner edge as well, we will be using the polygon. So that's where the polygon is being used, or the triangle is being used. So double click on this and we will be able to select the center of the polygon that we have just added and just pull it a bit down. Yes. So once this is done, again select the corner and add a curve as 10. Now let's fill in this with the color that we have used. So before filling in, we will be grouping this so that all the actions that we will be performing now onwards will be applied to all the item that we have just created. And again similarly we will be copy pasting the whole thing, and to add the second layer we will be filling it with a different color. Yes. Now select the bottom Now select the bottom rectangle of the second layer, double click on it and make sure the angle is same as what we need. Yes. So we are done with one side of the cactus. Now let's group these two layers together and just copy paste and move it to the other end. Yes. Yes. So once this is done, we are almost done with the shape of the cactus. The next thing is to add the face for the cactus, for which we will be using the ellipse for the eyes. Let's copy paste like this, and we can use the rectangle for the mouth. So make it like this. Now let's fill the color, mark it like this. Now to make this look a bit more like mouth, we can copy and paste this layer again, and we can fill it with like this. And to make it look like it's smiling, we can select this corner and pull it a bit down, and we can select this corner and make it a bit curved. Yes. So similarly we can make changes to the eyes as well, which is an assignment for you guys. And now let's add the shadow, which is the last step. So go to effects. So instead of drop shadow, we will be adding inner shadow. Let's increase the blur to 16. Yes. Similarly for the base, this looks good. So initially we forgot to adjust the hand. So yes, that's done. So we will be grouping the head and the base of the cactus, and we will be adding the effect. Let's add the inner shadow. Yes, let's make similar changes over here as well. So yes, we are almost done with the cactus. Further tweaks and all those things can be added, and yes, our cactus is now ready. Hope you like this video. Please do share and like, subscribe and comment.